welcome to the Bridge Broadcast Show. This is your host, Tina Boyle Whyte, and I'm excited to be here yet another week to be able to share with you, my audience, the goodness of the Lord. God is so good. He's so good. His mercies is everlasting. I am grateful to have the opportunity to be here to share with you on this network with WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network. It is an honor to be able to come before you all and serve you and serve this great group of people by bringing the good news, bringing the news of hope, the news of good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening, and welcome to the Bridge Broadcast Show. This is your host, Tina Boyle Whyte, and I'm excited to be here yet another week to be able to share with you, my audience, the goodness of the Lord. God is so good. He's so good. His mercies is everlasting. I am grateful to have the opportunity to be here to share with you on this network with WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network. It is an honor to be able to come before you all and serve you and serve this great group of people by bringing the good news, bringing the news of hope, the news of possibilities, the good news about the goodness of our Father. He is so amazing. And I would be absolutely off task if I didn't tell you that the Bridge Broadcast Show, our purpose is to really meet individuals where they are, to help them to get from where they are to where they want and need to be. And today is no different than any other day. We are here to really help you really get from where you are to where you want and need to be. And for those of you who have not been following me, this is my second season. In season one, I talked a whole lot about spiritual transformation. Season two has been the season of faith. And so at the beginning of the year, I talked to you about faith and stepping out into places where that is beyond your comfort. And I talked about that this was the year of faith. And I tell you, sometimes when we put out there, you know how some people say, be careful what you ask for or what you talk about, you really are going to be tested. And so, you know what? I want to share with you, my audience, that yeah, the test has come, and guess what? We are going to win. This year, this year has been a big year for me. I turned 50, and not only did I turn 50, you know, I've been walking through this season or this life around health. And what did I say? We deal with three things. We deal with spirit, soul, and body. And so we really walk through and talk through about the spirit. We really cover those things as it relates to the spirit. This series that we're doing now is we're really walking through and talking through matters of the soul, the mind, will, and emotions. As you see, that we're talking about emotional capacity, and then we are going to be going into a series around the body. And so, John C. Maxwell, the book No Limits, Blow the Cap Off Your Capacity, has been a blessing to me in this season, and I hope that it's been a blessing to you as we just walk through this and talk about kind of what's in the book and what is it that God wants us to know? What is He teaching us in this season? And so, in the midst of walking through faith, sometimes we get challenged with things in our lives, and I'm no different from you. I just happen to be the vessel who said, "Yes, Lord, I'll do it. Yes, Lord, I will go. Yes, I'm available. Lord, use my hands, use my feet, use my mouth." Whatever it is that you have for me to be able to be used for you, for the kingdom, for me, allowing the kingdom from heaven to come to earth. God, allow me to be that. And so I want to share with you, this is a testimony that I'm walking out. On March 13th, I was diagnosed with an attack on my body. I received the diagnosis of breast cancer. And so I'm telling you, the audience, because I'm putting notice on the kingdom of darkness and Satan, that My God shall supply all my need according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. He is the healer of all healers. And when I got this word, I was blown away. I didn't know what to do, and so um, God had to comfort me in His loving arms and the presence, just like in Psalms 91. I had to go dwell with Him because that diagnosis came as a blow, but I'm serving notice that this is just the beginning, and we've been talking about um, at church and in the Word. We may go in a fight. Two may go in, but one is coming out. And I am coming out of this fight on top and above and as a winner because I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. And I win in this fight. And I want you to know that as we're going through this series on emotional capacity, that you are a winner. And what I'm doing in this series is I'm giving you some pieces to allow you to know that you are a winner in this fight. We are winners. You are a winner. I don't care where you are, what you're doing, what you've done. You are a winner, and I want you to know. I want you to know that you are a winner. I want you to know on today that you are a winner. No doubt in your mind. And yes, someone was saying to me, Tina, a couple of shows ago, you look like you were sad. And this is real time. I'm not recording. I literally record within 24 hours of you seeing it. Shows ago, and you look like you were sad. Hearing it. And this is real. And I'm not here playing with any matter. This is not a reality show. This is not a talk show. This is the work for the kingdom of God. And so, for those of you who are with me, I encourage you as we walk through emotional capacity and we walk through knowing how to have emotional capacity as one of the tools that we can use to walk out whatever it is that we are going through. And see, the thing about emotional capacity, sometimes we don't know how to manage our emotions. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to get lost in my emotions of, oh my God, why me? And I did say that. I have to say I said that. God, why me? And He says, why not you? And then when I said, God, what are we going to do with this? He says, we're going to walk through this and we're going to bring a whole bunch of other people with us or with you. The point of the matter is I'm going to be victorious in this fight. And so for those of you who are out there battling something in their body or dealing with some situations, I want to encourage you on today. You are a winner and you can walk this thing out. And I want to invite you to reach out to me. Let me know that you're listening. Let me know that you're with me. Let me know that you are here, so that I know and I can reassure you that God is able and willing and able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think. And I want you to be encouraged on today. I want you to be encouraged in the Lord on today, to know that He is Jehovah Jireh. He meets the need. He supplies everything we need. He's our provider. And don't you forget that. I want you to know that. And for those who've been watching me in this journey, I don't know if you go back to season 1, I cut my hair. Little things in life that we think about, things that we become afraid of. I cut my hair and look at it. It's grown to the point where it is long. And so, you know what? I've come to the place that I am walking this thing by faith. And I want to know if you're with me. Are you with me? Are you with me in this journey, walking this by faith? Because this is a faith walk. This is a faith walk. And I want you to know that God is able. God is able. He is able. He is able. He is able. And so I encourage you to just step into His ability to really do what it is that He is able to do. Now He just wants you to trust Him. I encourage you. I want to start. Just step into His ability to really do what it is that He is able to do. Now He just wants you to trust Him. And I gave you some tips about being proactive in your emotions, and I'm really excited. Let me just recap a couple of things. Really around emotional proactivity. And so, it was just something that we had gotten from author John Maxwell referenced author, researcher, and teacher in the book, and this is so beautiful. This is why I have to say it again, because in light of like a diagnosis like mine, or in light of depression or what have you, we have to step in the place. And so she wrote in her book, M. Ash said in her book, Perspectives on Applied Psychology, and in a speaker, talk about, remember, emotions are the precursor of emotions. That means that you can do things to influence your own emotions. Maybe you can't control them completely, but you can change them through your actions. And so what actions? And so, you know what, when I got my diagnosis, my action was to go into the action of faith. I went into action right away. And John goes on to mention Og Mandino. He says these things, and I say these things to encourage you to know that you can take actions over your emotions. And so it says, if I feel depressed, I will sing. If I feel sad, I will laugh. If I feel ill, I will double my labor. If I feel fear, this is see, and it even try to stumble out of my mouth. If I feel fear, I will plunge ahead. If I feel inferior, I will wear new garments. If I feel uncertain, I will raise my voice. And I am raising my voice. I am stepping out. If I feel poverty, I will think of wealth to come. If I feel incompetent, I will remember my past successes. If I feel insignificant, I will remember my goals. And so today I want you to know, as I did the first one, emotionally strong people are proactive in dealing with their emotions. Today, I will master my emotions. And I want that to be your confession as to how you deal with these things. And wow. And I didn't even realize that I had underlined this. Here's what I know, John said. All of us are hit in the gut by unwanted surprises and blindsided by negative relationships and knocked down by the blow we didn't see coming. Yes. And he said that, you know what, there will be times you're going to tell others that life is unfair. But he says taking actions will pull us out of the pits where we find ourselves in. And so this is perfect. So where is it that you found yourself being blown by something that was totally a surprise? Yes, when I got that diagnosis, I felt totally surprised. It felt as if I was a boxer. It felt like I had gotten hit in the head. But guess what? I'm plunging ahead. God is so good. To God be the glory for the things he has done. Great things he has done, he is doing, and he's going to do. So amen. So emotionally strong people, number 2, emotionally strong people do not waste time feeling sorry for themselves. And so, John mentions in here, perhaps you've heard the joke about a woman who complained to her best friend, the whole world is against me. Her friend tried to comfort her. That's not true. The whole world isn't against you, she replied. They don't even know you yet. And so sometimes when we have these perspectives around how things are, we have to put it back into perspective and say, no, the world don't even know you. So how would you have that perspective? Why would you go into a state of feeling sorry for yourself? And that is not even it. And so he goes on to talk about, as he's talking about success, you can't complain and get ahead at the same time. Moaning about your troubles and moving in the right direction rarely happens. He mentions a Navy SEAL said this thing about resilience. Navy SEAL Eric Greitens is that many of life's annoyances just have to be ignored. That doesn't mean that we suppress, ignore, or deny every pain. Serious pain has to be confronted. But one mark of resilience is learning to tell which pain deserves our attention. So it's distinguishing what deserves our attention. Paying attention to every pain all the time doesn't lead to resilience. It usually just leads to whining. And so, the word resilience, I think of the song by Donnie McClurkin. and I might have mentioned this, the saint is just a sinner who fell down and got up. See, when we fall down, it's not that you're staying down, it's you getting back up. Will you get back up in the situation that you're in? Will you not sit there? And what is it? So you had a spiritual slide back. Get up. You've had a emotional slide back. Bounce back. So you've had some things in your body. Forge ahead. Do something different. Do something to bring yourself back. You know, a palm, a tree is just so beautiful about the palms that they just flow. They flow back and forth. When the wind is tumultuous, it flows in the wind. It flows. It's able to go back and forward. And when the tumultuous winds come, it may be strong and it may be boisterous, but it just goes and flows with it. It goes back and forth. Where are you? Are you flowing with it? Or are you trying to resist it? Are you trying to hold on to something? Are you trying to maintain something? Are you trying to handle something? What are you doing today? What are you doing today? How are you handling that situation? Are you bouncing back? Are you sitting there like a child who is pouting and waiting for somebody to come and say, you know what? You can cry. You can keep crying. Good for you. Nobody's going to do that. I encourage you to get up and get back in the game again. Let's get back in this game again. Let's do this. Let's do this. Resilience is what is needed. So as we're going on, he says, the way you deal with difficulties and avoid feeling sorry for yourself can be as unique as you are. So, you know, how unique are you? He goes on and he tells the story, but really, when you are dealing with something such as an adversity, make a recovering shot. You know, a shot never taken is one that you miss every time. You know, it's like, okay, I'm not going to respond to that. Well, if you never give it a try, if you never get back in the game, you'll never know how you did. So I encourage you to get back in the game. Get back in the game, bounce back, do what you need to do. Okay, and I'm hearing that, you know, some people will say, well, that's just you. No, that's you too. That's you too. That's you too. You are included. And I would say, get out of your head right now. Because you know what, the head and the mind is a lonely place to go. So your mind will tell you things that that self-defeating talk. When you've had defeat before, it'll remind you of your past and it will keep you in a place of defeat. Come out of that. I call you out of that. I call you out of your mind. I call you out of your mind in which you are self-sabotaging or you're self-defeating or you cannot get over your past. I call you out of your past. Come out of your past. You don't have to live there. No, you don't. Emotionally strong people, number 3, emotionally strong people do not allow others to control their relationships. Wow. John really talks about, you know, one of the things that I found in relationships. He says that one day, emotionally strong people have the ability to adjust to difficult relationships, while the weaker person can't or won't. He goes on to talk about the implications of this are huge. If you are an emotionally stronger person in a relationship, but you are unconscious of the relationship dynamics, you conform to the other person's way of relating. However, if you are conscious of the dynamics, you can choose to passively adapt to the other person, or you can take action to try to influence the dynamics or distance yourself from the other person. He goes on to share with us that education professor Leo Buscaglia, Leo, the easiest way to the easiest thing to be in the world is you. The most difficult thing to be is what other people want you to be. Don't let them put you in that position. He went on to talk about, I began to look at my relationships differently that day. If a weaker person usually controlled my relationship with them, I had to take action, or else there would be many times I would not reach capacity. Dysfunctional people want others to function on their level. Average people want others to be average, and high achievers want others to achieve. Where are you in the relationship of your life? You know, I have to admit that many times I've been in situations where I've been the one that's been the high achiever, and everybody is not able to handle that. And, you know, for as long as I know, I've always been one who have wanted others to really reach their capacity. And it's just been in days past where we have people like John Maxwell, who writes books like John C. Maxwell, No Limits, Blow the Cap Off Your Capacity. And really reminds us of who we are, really bringing it into context, like who are you in this whole journey, and just reminding us about relationships, being in relationships with people, knowing the dynamics you're in, knowing who you are around. Who are you around? Are you around a friend just because you've been friends forever? You know, I love this scenario. And I'm sorry, I'm thinking, it was coming up as we were, as I was coming up with that thought. If you're the smartest person in the group, then something is wrong with that group. You want to always be looking to see how can I grow? You know, I love how, when you talk about the fixed mindset, there's two mindsets that we have, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Are you with friends who are of the nature of having a fixed mindset where average and mediocre is okay? Or are you one that who are always looking to grow and have a positive outset, and who can see the bigger picture, and who wants to do better, who wants to blow the cap off your capacity? Who are you around? Who are those people in your life? And so when you think about it, do an assessment, like, who am I around? And who's around me? And how are they impacting my life? And how are they impacting? How am impacting how are we impacting each other? Like, does that person pull me up? Or do I pull that person up? Or does this group of people pull me down? You know, in service, we were talking about temptation, the innocence of temptation, but is yet so dangerous. Temptation calls us sweetly to say, come here, you, come here. And so who is it that you found yourself being around that that you are either that person is going to be the stronger one? Who is it? Who is it? So do an assessment and see where that is. Where are you? Where are the relationships in your life? And I think today we're actually going to get to 5 before we end this broadcast. Was there anything else that I wanted to share? Okay, so this one, number 4, emotionally strong people do not waste energy on things that they can't control. And I love that one. You know, God, the Serenity Prayer. Have you ever read the Serenity Prayer? Asking God to give you strength for the things that you can't control, and then the ability to handle the things that you can't control. That's essentially the Serenity Prayer. Finding yourself in the place that you are not trying to control the things that you can't control. Excuse me. And so, you know, John references, he referenced what he learned from Nelson Mandela. And he says, lessons learned from Nelson Mandela. Our surroundings need not control our spirit. People who devalue us do not determine our value. Dreams can be birthed during the daily grind. And out of our brokenness, Out of our brokenness, we can be made whole and bring healing to others. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Controlling what you can and not wasting energy on what you can't is one of the most important lessons we can learn in life. Oh my God. Like stress. How many of us stress over things that we can't control? How many of us worry over things that we can't control? It's the little things. Matthew 6 talks about, why are you worrying about that? You cannot add one cubit to that. It's essentially you can't do anything. And so, as we're in this year of faith, we're faithing, we're walking it out through faith. And so, oh my God, my God. This is so good to me. I'm just reading it and chewing on it. So out of our brokenness, we can be made whole and bring healing to others. Yes. He goes on to talk about one of his mentors, consultant Fred Smith. He said he would often say to me, you must understand the difference between a fact of life and a problem. A fact of life and a problem. A fact of life is something you cannot control or fix. A problem is something you can fix. I've never forgotten that great advice, he says. And so my question to you today, as we begin to start bringing this to a close, good lessons today. Good lessons. I really, really enjoyed chewing on this because now, I told you last week, not only am I feeding you, but I'm feeding my own self. And so, what's a fact in life that you cannot control or fix? So, let's think about some things. What can I control or fix? So I cannot control or fix others. I cannot control or fix others' behaviors. Those things come really big in how you deal with people. I cannot fix people. People are not fixable. They would have to be in a place where their heart is moldable before the Father, our God, the Father. And so a lot of things in life that we get stumped on. We get stumped on people, relationships, family, co-workers, people on the expressway. I remember I passed somebody, and so the guy got behind me, and he rode behind me for like a quarter of a mile, sticking his finger up. Okay, I can't control that, and so I didn't even get bothered by it. That was his choice of how he behaved, and so a lot of the things that we can't control or fix comes in people, in the form of people. A problem is something I can fix, and so when you look at problems, what is a problem that you can fix? Okay, so a problem that I can fix is that, I'm overweight. So I need to slow down on what I'm eating, or my blood sugar is high. I need to stop eating sugar. I need to regulate and get my body back in order. I'm speaking from me. This is something that I am speaking from. Or I need to take care of my body. I need to rest. That's something I can fix. I don't have to sit up all night and worry. I don't like where I work. I can fix that. I can go get another job. That's not the case, but many of you, what are the problems that you can fix? What is something that you can fix? Those are things that you can fix, and those are things that you control. Things you can't control, do not worry yourself. Do not worry yourself, because what does that do? That causes aging to the body, that brings it really just has a really negative effect on our bodies, our being. And so we are spirit, soul, and body. And so you have to be careful to take care of the temple that God has given you. And so today has been really rich for me. John C. Maxwell, no limits, blow the cap off your capacity. And I pray that you are praying with me, and I'm praying with you, and I'm declaring God's best over your life. I'm declaring his riches over your life. I'm declaring his wealth over your life. I'm declaring health over your life. I'm declaring the best that God has for you over your life. And If you are still in the place of emotional capacity and you're trying to figure this thing out, go back and review some of the things that I've said to you. Be encouraged on today. Be encouraged and know that God is with you and that He will never leave you nor forsake you. And I just want to encourage you to reach out to me. Like it, if you like what I'm saying, like it, share it, pass it on, and let others know that somebody out here by the name of Tina Boyle Whyte has been commissioned by God to share something with you by way of spirit, soul, and body, by any means necessary to help you get from where you are to where you need to be. I love you, and I thank God for you, and I pray God's blessed to you, and we'll see you on next week. God bless.